Hello, welcome to Kathaa Yaana's Panchatantra Yaana's Mitrabheda segment. In the previous video, we saw how the jackal Karataka stopped his friend Damanaka to enter into the king's matters as he warned that he might lose his life just like the monkey who lost its. And Damanaka, out of curiosity, asked, "What story is that of the monkey?" Here in this video, we will look at that story. The jackal Karataka began narrating the story. He said, "Listen, my friend Damanaka, in some city, there lived a man in the outskirts of that city, and he was getting a temple built in his area. Now, to get that temple built, he had employed some workers, some masons and sculptors. And every day, these workers would go to the city for lunch. During one such time, a troop of monkeys came to the half-built temple and began frolicking around on the piles of wood that were scattered around. They started rolling over it, they started jumping upon it, etc. Now, among this pile of wood, there was one huge log of wood which a sculptor had split in the middle and placed a wedge, a piece of wood on top of it, so that when he came back, he could use it for a sculpture of his. One monkey, whose days were ending, foolishly and playfully came and sat on top of that wood, that huge log of wood, and seeing that the wedge was causing some sort of a discomfort to him, he thought, "What is this useless piece of thing doing here? If it is not here, I can so comfortably sit like a king," he thought. Thinking so, he impatiently pulled out that wedge from that wood, and as he did that, his private parts entered into the cleft of that wood. And my friend, you can imagine what happened after that. Don't make me tell that. So, Damanaka, why do you want to meddle with the king's matters? Come what may, our food is reserved. Let us stick to our business. To that, Damanaka got furious and said, "What are you saying? You only desire food? You do not desire to serve the king, serve our country? This is not fair. A person's life is fully lived only if he helps his friends, serves his king in times of distress, not merely fill his stomach. A person's life is fully lived when he becomes a source of empowerment in other people's lives. What use is a person's life he does not show compassion to other people, to his fellow beings, and even to strangers? Think about it, my friend. Even a grass that is growing on the banks of a river, even its life is blessed when it becomes a source of support to a drowning person." To that, Karataka said, "But see, we are insignificant here. What use is this matter to us? And without permission, if you talk foolishly in front of the king, you are not only disrespected but also insulted. It is wise to understand that you speak in front of the king only if there is some benefit out of it." To that, Damanaka said, No, please don't say that. Being of service to a king makes even a significant person very, very significant, because a king appreciates those who show genuine interest in the growth of his country, regardless of their level of knowledge, their family background. And my friend, those who say it is very, very difficult, extremely difficult to serve a king, say that out of laziness. To that, Karataka said, "Okay, if you say so, but what are you planning to do now, by the way?" And Damanaka said, "Well, I will go to the king. I see he is very fear-stricken. He is horrified with something. Maybe he has suspected the invasion of an enemy. I'll go to him learn the reason of his fear and try to solve his problem by suggesting these strategies like merger, maybe raising a war with the enemy, or approaching the enemy for a friendly conversation, or surrender to the enemy, or maybe simply wait for the right time. To that Karataka said, "How are you so sure that the king, our king, Lion King Pingalaka, is fear-stricken?" To that Damanaka said, "Why? Isn't it so obvious from his unusual behavior today? And Manu has taught us in Dharma Shastra that a person's mind can be easily read through his body language, his attention, the way he does his work, his words and tone, and his eyes and facial expressions. I will use my intelligence on this and crack on his anxiety, and who knows, I might even grab a minister's post." To that Karataka said, "Well, but where do you have the experience of serving the king?" To the Damanaka replied, "Hey, I have the knowledge of Niti Shastra. I have learnt it all by heart from the time I have been playing on my father's lap. Listen, I will tell you some of it. A queen, a prince, a princess, the chief minister, the royal priest, and also the royal guard all have to be given equal respect. A person has to stay away from the domestic affairs of the palace unless he has been asked to intervene. And a person who is serving the king should always abstain from bad habits like drinking, gambling, and adultery. The king likes those people who genuinely and politely present their arguments, and not those who talk baselessly and in coarse and loud voices. King likes those who proactively participate in a war, or those who take initiative in solving problems or the crisis that has cropped up in the country. The king appreciates the character of that man who never misbehaves or scolds or harasses any woman in the kingdom. And if a person approaches to serve the king, to have a genuine interest in serving the kingdom, his desire will certainly be fruitful, my friend." Karataka said, "Well, if these are your thoughts, then I wish you all the best." Saying so, he went off. And the jackal Damanaka approached the lion king Pingalaka and saluted him. The king Pingalaka was so happy upon seeing Damanaka and said, "Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a long time having seen you. What brings you here today?" Damanaka said, "Your Majesty, I have come here to be of some service to you. I thought this is the right time to talk some important matter with you if you allow me to." Then Pingalaka said, "Well, of course, why not? You are my minister's son after all, and you have come with a desire to speak something. Tell me what it is." And Damanaka said, "Your Majesty, this is a matter regarding you, and it would be better if a king's matter is spoken in person." And so Pingalaka understood, and he gestured to his followers to leave them alone. And when they all had gone, Damanaka said, "Well, Your Majesty, I saw you going near the banks of Yamuna river. You went there, you were thirsty, you went there to drink some water, but you didn't drink the water, and you came back as if you feared something. May I know what it is?" To that Pingalaka shyly said, nothing, that was nothing." And Damanaka said, "It's all right, Your Majesty, it's fine, it's absolutely fine if you think I do not deserve to know it. A person has to maintain some secrets after all. He should not be telling about everything to everyone." And so the king, Pingalaka, thought for a while, "Yeah, this jackal seems to be a mature being and comes across as trustworthy. Why not I tell him? And moreover, it is always good to share about one's problems with another person. If that person is showing interest, it feels better. And so Pingalaka said, well, Damanaka, did you hear a great voice in that distance? Damanaka said, yes, Your Majesty, I did hear. So what? To that Pingalaka said, well, I want to leave this forest. I want to go away from here. But why, Your Majesty? Asked Damanaka. To that Pingalaka said, see, I think there is some mysterious being, some mysterious creature which has entered this forest, from whom we hear that great voice, and I think it is as strong as that powerful voice. And so to that Damanaka said, Your Majesty, you mean to say you are afraid, you got frightened of a mere sound, of a mere voice? That is not wise, my lord. We hear many other noises here, like the ones that is made by thunder, like the ones that is made by the winds as they blow across the trees and wickets. There are conch shells blown, there are bells rung. We hear the musical instruments like flute and drum. All of these are mere sounds, my lord, not warnings of danger. They are nothing to be afraid of. And Your Majesty, if a king is brave enough, no matter how ferocious the enemy is, the king will never be trapped in sorrows. So Your Majesty, there is no need for you to fear here, please. Otherwise it will be just like that saying, which goes like this. I thought it was full of fat, and so I crept within. But when I came out, I found that it was only made of wood and skin. Pingalaka asked, Hey Damanaka, what is it that you're talking about? Explain that to me. And Damanaka began narrating to him a story. And that story in the next video of Panchatantra Yaana's Mitrabheda segment. This is Lakshmi taking your leave. Thank you.